Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to our Road to Glory here with Derby in the Premier League. We are ready to go. We are taking on Brighton here today, and I am very, very excited to show you what's been happening. As you can see, all pre-season, we've actually only conceded one goal, and it was an absolute wonder strike by Accurcio Bentivenga. We've been on a little bit of a journey here in the pre-season. As you can see, we've been tweaking our system a little bit from last year. We've actually gone into a back five, because I thought we may have been a bit aggressive on the other system. You can see some of the signings that have come in. We've got Nikola Sekulov, who I'm trying to get loaned out, but looks like a very quality young player on a free. We've got Joost Van Aken, who's one of the centre-backs and can also play on the left wing-back role. We've got Stefan, who's a right-back, who's gone out on loan. We've got Farusi, who's a centre-back that's jumped in with us. Loris Karius doesn't need much of an introduction. Everyone knows who he is, but he's our starting goalkeeper. Egbo is a backup option at right back, and Ashley Young is a backup option at left back. You can see there's a few guys here that have left, but then there's been some signings here as well from the end of last season. Robin Koch has come in. Sturgiu, you should all know who he is if you play Football Manager. Very, very good young centre-back. Orellano, very, very good option. I know my webcam's covering a lot of the stats, so I'm just going to sort of show you faces so you know who is who. Alexander Yankovic, Andres Herrera, good right back that we've brought in. Morales is another goalkeeper that's going to be fighting with Karius. Smolic is playing at centre back with us, 5-star potential. Elias is probably our best midfielder, but doesn't have a work permit, which is frustrating, trying to get him on loan, as I am with Katanich. And then the rest of these guys I've shown you all before. So if you're a bit stuck on who's who, I'm sure we'll pick it up as the season moves on. Ericsson at Newcastle, which is pretty interesting. Bournemouth go down 2-1 on the opening day. Man United lost 3-0 to Spurs on the opening day as well, which is a bit interesting. But here we go. It is time. This is the team that we're going with. We've got Karius in goal, Sturgiu, Koch, and Smolic, with Herrera, Buchanan, Yankovic, Bird starting in the ball-winning midfielder role. Has actually developed quite well. I'm trying to train him to play as a right wing back, but as a ball-winning midfielder, he actually looks quite good as well still, so he'll get some minutes, but he's not 100% fit, but he'll just have to do a job for now. Orellano, Sibley, and Delap up front. So lots of good options on the bench here. I am very, very excited to see how we go. Brighton's going to be one of those teams where they do play good football, so I'm hoping that we can hopefully hit them on the break, but they do play a very, very similar system to us. So let's get into it, because we've got a little bit to talk about that I want to get through. We are at Pride Park for a Premier League match for Derby County Football Club. I'm very, very excited to see how we go. This is the Brighton team. They've got McAllister, Mwepu, Basuma, Lamptey, Cucurella, Dunk, Webster, Brooks. They're a very, very solid team, Brighton, but they're coming to our home ground, and can we get 3 points in our first game back in the Premier League? This is what we've been waiting for a little bit of time. We got pretty lucky to go out. Look at Dim in time for the episode as well to see how we go. We are live on Twitch, so if you haven't come over to Twitch yet, it's twitch.tv/Paulie29. Our stadium is still annoying as Lewis Dunk goes for a big header at the back post, but let's see if we can find a way to settle the game down a little bit, as I have another highlight here. And I want to try and wait for these highlights to calm down before I start talking about some things. And there's a goal kick to Karius. And we've been talking on a stream here about what we want to try and get out of this save. So I'm going to turn this more in depth than just a traditional Road to Glory, when you're trying to win the trophies once and then pack the season up, where we're going to try and win all the major trophies in England, which include the Charity Shield, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. We also want a Champions League, and then we want one of those seasons to be a quad. So this is probably going to be a save that's going to take us through to FM23, because we're going to have that quad element to this save. So if you are very excited to see if we can win a quadruple with Derby, make sure you smash a huge thumbs up on this episode, because I can't wait to see if we can somehow achieve it. This season, though, the goal is about just staying up and not getting relegated, as Karius does his best of efforts there to make sure that we don't concede there. And Brighton have started well, but Sturgey's done well finding Orellano. We've got lots of new faces in this team, so it might take us a few match days to really gel and find that quality together. But Orellano finding Herrera, finding Orellano, good ball to the back post to Sibley. Our first attacking movement results in a goal for Louis Sibley, one of the remaining players who somehow gets a game because we do have some good players going forward. Orellano with a great clip ball to the back post to Louis Sibley, and that is what we want to see on the break from this team. And as Dim gets on the screen, we like the build-up play. The build-up play looks absolutely fantastic in this shape, and it has looked good in pre-season. We do need to be mindful that we're not going to be one of the better teams in the league, which is where my thought process came. This was sort of Dim's assistance on the 5 at the back system that I'd already started. So I had a 5-3-2 where, oh my God, I thought we nailed that in as well through Smolich. But I think we've come to a really good way of playing where we're getting these fullbacks really involved in the build-up, which allows our midfield and then the 2 shadow strikers to really get involved to help in the attacks, which is really good because we saw that Orellano is one shadow striker, clip a ball to the back post to Sibley, who is the other shadow striker. So the fact that they're linking up really well is fantastic to see. We've got a full house here at Pride Park, 32,000 Derby fans bouncing at the moment. We've got a really solid defence and we've got heaps of depth now at the back, which is fantastic as Sibley finds Bird. And that's what my key was. I really went and strengthened the defence because I thought, yeah, we definitely can score goals. We've got Delap up front for another season who's on loan. We can maybe even look to extending his loan, but I've got a deal in for Emmanuel Boateng, who looks like a really good pressing forward. So if Delap and Boateng are our 2 pressing forwards, we've got a Tunga as well. So I think up front we're going to be looking okay. In the number 10 roles, we were really close to getting a deal for Morgan Sanson, which would have been absolutely unreal for like 300k, 370k, and 30,000 a week. But unfortunately, the Brexit rules are a thing, which is frustrating, and we weren't able to get him. But that's a good ball in, and Orellano misses. That would have been a massive goal, but it looks like it's been blocked. So can we capitalise here through Buchanan? We've got 3 centre-backs forward, and unfortunately the ball falls to Cucurella, and there is numbers here for Brighton. Can we find a way to stop this attack? Well done, Bird. He is actually starting to play some really good football at the moment, and I know he's going to struggle to get through this full 90 minutes. So we've got Bielik that can come on and probably finish this game off, or we can put our boy Jankovic over there to the ball-winning midfielder role. But I think we've brought in some really good young talent. I've got that Rooney Badgel, or whatever his name is as well. I forgot to show you him. He has come in, but he's coming in January, but without a work permit. So I'll try and loan him straight back out in January, and he'll get a full year of development still in Sweden. And hopefully he can try and keep playing in Sweden and maybe break into the national team so that he can get his work permit that way. But Buchanan, good ball in towards Delap. Dunk does his job. Sibley hits it straight into him. And we've got to win this ball. And Sturgey does fantastically well, finding Buchanan through Sibley. And Sibley's actually sort of playing his way into this team. That's an interesting ball from Buchanan that doesn't work. Now I'm going to take off probably Sibley and Bird here and keep one sub up our sleeve. So we've got Aziz. This is probably the one position we're struggling at the moment. So Jankovic is going to go further forward. Box-to-box midfielder, we're going to go with Patino, and Bird will go for Bielik, and we'll keep one sub up our sleeve just in case we need it. But we're looking okay here. 70 minutes in, we've kept Brighton to 1 shot on target. That's probably the one thing that I'm liking the most out of this at the moment is, although we haven't, had heaps of shots on target ourselves, now that they've actually leveled it up, Buchanan looks like he's picked up a knock, and it looks like Ashley Young is going to make his debut for Derby at left wing back, and we weren't sure whether he was going to be someone that we're going to bring in, but I sort of lent more on the experience side of things, having Ashley Young in the squad and the mentoring, and he's come in with a coaching role assigned to him after the season, or after next season, sorry, he's got 2 years. And then as soon as we signed him, our actual backup left back, Forsyth, has unfortunately got an injury for 4 to 7 weeks. So he's actually walked into the team now as the second choice left back. So he's good enough at the moment still. He's actually young to contribute for the next couple of seasons at least, whilst his physicals are still good. as we find him here. He's good on both feet. It's Ashley Young who has the curls ball trait as well. So maybe playing on that left-hand fullback area, you might be able to cut inside and whip a few good crosses or whip a few good shots in towards the far post, which might be really dangerous for us. But there we go. We get up and Bielik finds Jankovic. Can he find the right ball? He finds Herrera. What a switch from the shadow striker. Roll towards Delap. Orellano just gets caught on his wrong foot. Can he get away? Oh, he got a shot away on that left peg. But we are looking really, really good. I'm liking the way that we're getting these fullbacks really involved. Don't know why Young's taking the corner on the right-hand side. And here comes Cabela, and that was the ball we had to win. But the fact that the highlight was ended, I'm more than happy with. We've used our 3 subs. Are we going to hold on here for a 1-0 victory? This would be absolutely massive for Derby and for us to make sure that we can walk out of here with a positive result from this game. Young over the free kick. Can we capitalise? We can't. It's Robert Sanchez, but it looks like there's going to be one more attack. They hoof it long. Young does really well. Well done, Ashley. Karius does well. Look how much we're looking for Ashley Young. It's really good to see that the boys are getting him heavily involved. Smolich finds Jankovic back into Young. Here we go. Goes for the big hoofing cross, but it finishes 1-0. What a result for the boys. Louis Sibley in the 29th minute getting the goal that gets us 3 points in our Premier League return. Who would have thought? Man City, Chelsea, Everton, we're above all those guys. We're above Man United. We're above West Ham after one game in the Premier League. I am so excited to show you guys this season. Buchanan's only out for 1 to 2 days. Fantastic. Karius keeps a clean sheet on his debut. How good is that? Look at all the guys that made their debuts. There was Karius, Young, Koch, Smolich, Jankovic, Sturgey, Orellano, and Herrera. Just heaps of players making their debuts, but that's what we want to see. We are here, we are in the Premier League, and we are doing our best to stay up. Before we go, let's have a look at our season preview. I'm sure we're probably towards the bottom. We're predicted bottom. Last year we were predicted bottom and we managed to finish in the playoffs. What can we do this season? If you've liked this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you very, very shortly for another episode of our Road to Glory here with Derby.